I wake up, I look around the room, I'm not grateful for anything. And people say this, Tim, you need to be grateful, man. You live in America. You're a white man in America. You should be grateful. You've got a roof over your head. You've got a YouTube channel. Come on, be grateful. I'm not. It's not because I'm a bad person. It's not because I hate people or anything like that. It's just that there's a certain thing that takes over that consciously I have very little power to affect. And that's what people don't realize. They think that depression is a conscious choice. It's not. It's not. Our brain has many different systems in it, and they all have different intentions. We don't have one unified brain. And unlike computers, where you keep upgrading your operating system, and you remove the original operating system, okay, we started out with DOS, then we went to MS-DOS, but we got rid of DOS. And then we went to Windows, but we got rid of MS-DOS. And then we go to Windows 95 and 98 and blah, 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 blah. And we keep removing the other operating system. The brain didn't. We still have a very primitive brainstem. And then we have a reptilian brain on top of that. And then we have a mammalian brain on top of that. Finally, we have a primate brain. And then we have this really powerful prefrontal cortex, which makes us uniquely human. But we have all those other old operating systems still there, still doing what they know how to do best. And this part is not in charge. It likes to think that it is in charge, but it is not. 95% of your brain is unconscious, and it has unlimited resources. 5% of your brain is conscious and has a very small gas tank. And it becomes depleted very, very easily. And once it's depleted, you're done. Your primitive brain is going to take over and make you do all kinds of stuff that's not good. So what do? I wake up and I touch the covers and I feel them and I get present to them. I'm not grateful for anything, but I feel the covers. I feel my environment. Instead of suddenly going off into a story, I become mindful of my environment. What do the covers feel like? Are they soft? Are they bumpy? Are they dirty? Are they smelly? When was the last time I washed them? That's a story. I just touch them and I get present to it. Then I feel my body on the mattress. What does it feel like? Are there any aches? Are there any pains? I just do a check-in. And once I've done that check-in, once I've got really mindful and really present, I grab the covers and I say to myself, can you pull back the covers? I say it out loud. I talk to myself out loud because we have different systems in the brain. And the one that has access to my mouth can speak to the other ones. And I found that if I get it out of my mouth into the world, now my ears have to listen to it, and I've engaged another part of the brain. So by speaking it, I've engaged one part of the brain. By listening to it, I've engaged another part of the brain. And then by processing what I've just spoken and listened to, I've engaged even more aspects of the brain. So I kind of have like a full brain experience. It's really, really powerful to talk out loud to yourself. Can you pull back the covers? And I think about it. And I don't feel well, but how big of a fall is that? 2 inches. Yeah, I can pull back the covers. And I do. Can you shift your weight and put your legs over the side of the bed? All right. And I do. How do you feel? Okay, not so good. I'm kind of tired. Not pretty low energy right now. Okay. And I have this conversation with myself. And whenever the parent voice speaks to the child, speaks to the primitive voice, and the primitive voice talks back and says, I'm not feeling well, the parent always says, okay, or that's okay. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay to have low energy right now. And whenever I talk to myself, those are the most common words that come out of my mouth. It's okay. Or Tim, it's okay. Because I'll suddenly go into freak out mode and I'm disempowered, cognitive dissonance, and oh boy, what's going to happen now? It's like, okay, Tim, it's okay. It's okay. That always helps, no matter what I'm dealing with. So now my feet are on the floor. Find a pair of shorts. Okay? Find a pair of shorts. I put them on. All right, let's take a walk to the kitchen. Can you do that? Yeah, I can do that. I'm walking to the kitchen. How you feeling? Oh, a little bit better. All right. So walk to the kitchen. Grab a banana. Can you do that? Can you grab a banana? Yeah, I can do that. All right. Can you peel it? Yep. Peel the banana. Start singing a little song maybe, because now I'm moving. All right. Put the bananas in the blender. Ooh, forgot the kale. So I run outside barefoot in the wet grass, because it's all dew here in the Northeast. So cold, wet grass. And I feel that on my feet. What does that feel like? Ooh, it's kind of neat. And I get present to the wet grass as I move towards the garden. And then I walk into the garden and I look at the different leaves and the different colors, and I get present to them, and I look at the veins running through the leaves, and I touch them. And I look at the bugs and the worms and other things that are hanging out in the garden, or the woodchuck that just ran away as I walked in. And I get present to that. And now I'm starting to feel something build. And I pick the kale. Okay, how many leaves of kale? Let's try 5, okay? Anything else? Oh, beet greens look good. All right. How about the red chard? That's looking really good. I like the way the sun is hitting the leaves and illuminating it. So you've got these red spines moving up through the green leaves. And I look at that for a moment. And then I pick it. And then I go back into the house. And I put it in the blender. And then I grab some dates. And I take out the pits. And I put them in. And I open the freezer and get some blueberries. Oh, wait, it's August. I run back up on the hill and I pick some fresh blueberries. And I see some deer and I see some turkeys. And I hang out with them and I talk to them or I sing to them. And suddenly, wow, I'm feeling good. And then I come back to the house and I make my smoothie and I do my smoothie dance. And then I put it to my lips and I taste. And I don't just smash it down. I let those first few drops sit on my tongue, and I move them around the mouth, and I feel the explosion of taste sensation go through my mouth. And I just sit with that. I'm present to that. What does that feel like? Because taste has a feeling, it's not just taste, there's also a feeling attached to it. And it just spreads through my jaw and down through my throat, and I just experience that. And it's powerful. And I celebrate. Because I now have a green smoothie in my hand and in my mouth. 15 minutes ago, I was in bed and I didn't want to get out. 15 minutes ago, I wasn't grateful for anything and I didn't care about anything and I had no energy. But I took a little risk and a little step, followed by a little risk and a little step. And I do it over and over and over again. And I can accomplish nearly anything doing that, regardless of how I feel. I can wake up in the morning and I look outside and man, is it cold and there's no way I want to go outside in that. 10 minutes later, I'm outside in it. Didn't take willpower, didn't take discipline. Feel the covers, pull them back. Not like I have to go for a run. I never tell myself that. I have to drink a green smoothie. I never tell myself that. I have to be vegan. I never say that. I have to be raw. Never say that. Can you peel the banana? Can you walk to the garden? And what is your experience of walking to the garden? What is your experience of peeling the banana? What does the skin look like? What does it smell like when you peel it? How quick or how long does it take to get the smell to your nose when you first peel it? Play a little game. Because when you're in the moment, again and again and again and again, you build something called momentum. Momentum. And if you look at the Latin root of moment, it doesn't mean a place in time, like, boom, there is the moment. I'm putting my flag on the moment. Like it's separate from everything else. There is the moment. Moment in Latin means movement. That's what the word actually means. It means movement. Are you moving? Momentum is about building energy, building movement, gaining momentum. building ease, creating comfort, building strength. An object in the moment tends to stay in motion, because an object in the moment is in motion. But what we do with this really powerful thing up here is we pull ourselves out of the moment, out of the movement. And we stay there in bed. We stay there stuck. The movement is happening, but I'm not a part of it. I'm here in bed, and I've got this story that I keep running. Because I think I have one brain. And I think that this voice needs to comment on all the other voices, and it needs to back them up. If my emotions are having an experience, well, then I use my cognitive brain to say, yeah, that's right, this person did this thing to me, or people always do that, or I have no money and I'm never going to get any, and I have no life and nobody likes me. We feel an emotion, and then we think about the emotion, and we create a story about the emotion, rather than being in the moment, in the movement. Because what happens in the ocean? The waves come in. They lift us, they drop us, and then they move on to shore, and another one comes behind it. That's the moment. It's this constant cycle of waves that just keep coming in, and coming in, and coming in. And emotions are part of the moment. They are emotions. They are part of the movement. But that doesn't mean we have to get on top of that wave and ride it. We don't have to surf those waves. We don't have to paddle for them. We can just sit on our surfboard and let the emotion raise us up and then drop us down. And another one comes along and it raises us up and it drops us down. And we just ride the waves. And that's what emotions are. They're information. They're telling us something about our environment. They're telling us something about the movement that is happening around us. They're signals. I'm feeling a certain emotion. Why? What in my environment is creating that wave? Okay. I'm fond of Ronnie. Maybe it's Ronnie. Maybe he's brought up a feeling of affection in me. So, there's that. Okay, boom. I don't have to ride that wave. I don't have to run over and give him a hug. I can feel it. I can feel it, not create a story about it, and then it passes and the moment moves, keeps moving. What's coming next? I don't know. So when I wake up in the morning, regardless of what I'm feeling, regardless of what my challenge is, it's okay. It's okay to feel that lift, and it's okay to feel it drop. You don't need to hold on to it. I have a connection with somebody at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and every time I look at them, I'm like, gah. Right? How many of you have made connections here like that? We're like, oh, I've got such a crush. But we want to hang on to it. It rises, and it starts to drop, and we're like, no, don't drop. What's your email address? How do I get in touch with you? When can I see you next? Can we move in together? This is what we do, because the wave starts to drop, the emotion starts to go away, and we're like, no! And now we start making a story about that. And we get out of the moment, because new emotions have been coming along. And we ignore them, and they start building up. They start getting blocked because we're stuck on one that happened yesterday or a week ago. And we're holding on to it, clinging, and the others just keep backing up against it. Now maybe, you breathe out, that emotion calms, and you see that person the following day, and there it is again. That's nice. Okay, what do we have in the moment right now? What can we share and experience in the moment right now? Oh, that's beautiful. And what happens? Does it keep rising? Does it drop? Okay, it dropped. All right, I'll see you a little bit later. That's the moment. That's the movement. It's okay. It's okay if it drops. We shared a beautiful experience. Maybe we'll share another. I don't know. We can find out. But we create these stories. We create these expectations. We want something because we feel we lack something. And that feeling of lack is often built on emotions that we've been holding on to for decades that we've never let go of. My shyness and insecurity. Man, I've been holding on to that for a long time, 2nd grade. But now, I feel them coming. I feel that old stuff coming up. Here's the wave. It's okay, Tim. It's okay. And I just feel it. And then it goes away. So when I share my vulnerability, when I cry, when I emote, when I'm full of joy, people are like, oh, he's a complainer, he's a whiner, he's a baby. No. I'm just letting the waves lift me. And then they go away. And they lift me, and they go away. That's part of life. But we're afraid to show that stuff. We got to keep it away. We got to keep it hidden. Keep those emotions hidden. And what happens when you keep them hidden? It backs up. You can build a storm wall against the ocean. You know, you can build this high barrier, but then what happens when the bigger storm comes? You're screwed.